welcome to a new video. I'm taking the Honda Trail 125 out for a ride at night in Louisville, Kentucky. I'm recording the video with the Insta360 Go Ultra. I have a DJI Mic 3 transmitter that's inside my helmet that I'm using to record the audio to its internal storage. And then I just sync it up during editing. I'm taking this trail for a ride. So I'm in the kind of Anchorage area, or the Linden area. I'm heading towards Sawyer Park, which I plan to ride through because they're not closed yet. Because it's since it's about to turn October, it's that time of year when it gets dark earlier. So you don't have to wait until it's 9:30 or 10 to get dark, which has its benefits and its downsides. I figured this would be a good example video for the Go Ultra to show what it looks like when you're doing a night ride in an area that's not specifically well lit. Because a lot of times you see the various review videos that people do, where they're the sponsored videos where they either give the cameras to the people for free, and then pay them on top of that and have some editorial say in the video, or they just send them to YouTubers and let them use the camera for free to make a video. I bought this one with my own money. And I always like putting a few videos out there that show some real-world use. Because if you're going through a very well-lit downtown area, like New York City, or Chicago, or, you know, Seoul, South Korea, or somewhere in China, or, you know, Japan, or wherever, it's going to look a lot different than here. So I figured it'd be worth just going for a ride at night, showing what that looks like. Where right now the only thing lighting this video is the headlight of this bike. I think this entrance will still be open. Yes, so if I go straight, this is Sawyer Park. Well, it's one of the entrances. Some type of gazebo area. Let's see, I need to turn around, because I actually want to go to a different entrance. I figure I'd just ride around, because this is the area that's by the community center type place where they sometimes hold events. It's not super well lit. It's kind of hard to tell where to go in the dark. Yeah, so you can't really see a whole lot. So I'll just go back in the other direction, because there are street lights back here, but none of them are turned on, so you can't see much. And I had done a video a while back where I came here during the winter and went through some of the, you know, history of the park and stuff. Went through at nighttime in the snow, and that was on foot, not on a bike. I wouldn't exactly want to take a motorcycle at dark at night through the woods in the snow with the stock tires that come on this Trail 125. They have a little bit of grip, but I think they're a little bit more street oriented. So taking them through light trails, you know, just light off-road trails, gravel roads and such, I think you're probably fine. Anything that's a little bit more treacherous than that, you might want to put a different set of tires on. I have the bright light on because it's pretty dark, and the standard brightness level of the headlight is not super bright. And there are a few entrances to Tom Sawyer Park, so we'll see if this one's open. There's not much in the way of lighting turned on back here. All the signs say the park closed at 10 p.m. It is not 10 p.m. yet. There's the moon. None of the streetlights are turned on. So it's pretty dark. Let's see, so there's a softball field and center, so this is that parking lot with one bright light turned on. There's also a BMX bike thing back here, but it's so dark there's no way to be able to see it. I guess they have a Halloween thing here in the fall. So at this time of year, I don't think I've ever been to it, so I'm not sure how good it is or not. But and then this is one of the buildings that I think was originally used when this was Lakeland Asylum, or the old location of Central State Hospital. It's one of the old buildings that they still use today. I don't know where all this stuff goes. And then there is a trail. You can go back through the area that takes you through the woods, and you can see the area where a lot of the remnants of the old asylum are. I mean, there's not a ton of stuff left. There's some. Yeah, it's pretty dark. So I guess I'll probably jump ahead in the video to when I'm back out on the main road. So this is on, I believe, Frey Hills Road, which, if you go out of the entrance that I just went into the park and come out, it goes to another entrance to the park where They have the main parking lot where there's like a community center that has a swimming pool and other stuff. And then this is where you would, a lot of times you would traditionally go through this area, park over here, and then over straight ahead, that's where you get to the walking path, the walking, jogging, running path, and that parts go through the woods. And then there are some bike trails that go through the woods, as well as having that kind of BMX track. If instead of being here on this motorcycle that has a license plate that's illuminated, if I had been here on one of my e-bikes, I probably would have went through more of those trails and explored. Because on a bike, I think it's probably all fine. But, oh well, that was just a skunk, I think. Oh yeah, there's a skunk. Nature existing. Okay, I don't want to bother it. I don't want to get sprayed. But yeah, if I had a bike, then I would have probably went exploring through all the various gravel trails back there. Because I know there are bike trails for bicycles. So mountain bike, e-bikes, I think I'm sure it'd be fine to go explore anywhere. But on a gas motorcycle, probably not so much. Now, this is going towards Westport Road. So this will be a good example of this camera capturing an area that has a little bit more light than all the areas I was just going through. There's a lot of stores and restaurants and shopping centers and stuff through here, and a theater and big retail stores and such. So this is Westport Road. So the trail is nice to go on these kind of leisurely rides. You can go on roads where the top, the speed limit is 45 miles per hour, even 50 miles per hour. Because on flat ground, it can do, at least with me on it, it can do close to 60. Now going uphill, that's a little bit lower. Going downhill, it's a little bit faster. If you put somebody on this that weighs significantly less than me, they could probably get a little bit better top speed out of it. But it is fast enough to take on a road where the speed limit's 45 miles per hour. Because I know when I had a Honda Navi, there were some times that even 45 mile per hour roads were a little bit difficult to keep up with traffic. And the trail does a little bit better. The U.S. is somewhat varied in what it has. You think of the big cities or the ultra-rural areas, as opposed to Louisville's kind of a reflection of a lot of, Midwestern or southeastern cities where they're not super small, but they're also not big cities. So you have a lot of shopping centers, fast food, strip malls, department stores. The malls have kind of died off. I mean, they still exist. At this point, none of the major-sized malls have closed recently. But they're definitely not the cultural force they were a couple decades ago. And then, this general area is the east end of Louisville. So try to do videos when I go for these rides that hit up different parts of the city and not just stick to one area. You know, because there are areas that look interesting to ride through, but I don't want to only go through those areas, so give a little bit of variety. I'll wrap up here in a second. It is funny how a lot of this stuff isn't super well illuminated. So I think this goes to Old Westport. Hopefully I don't get creamed by somebody from behind. Yeah, so this is Old Westport. So when I was on was Westport, and I guess this is what the road used to be until they updated it and made it the bigger multi-lane road. As opposed to this is just kind of like a quiet road without any street lamps, surrounded by trees. I don't know exactly when they made New Westport Road and made this one basically just a side street. But yeah, that was taking the Honda Trail 125 for a ride to Tom Sawyer Park and kind of the Westport Road area. Shooting it on the Insta360 Go Ultra. But yeah, so that's it till next time.